Why is IDP scoring so complex in fantasy football? Imagine trying to score points in a game where every move counts differently depending on who makes it and where it happens. That's what makes IDP, or individual defensive player scoring, so tricky. Unlike offensive players who mainly earn points through yards gained and touchdowns, defensive players contribute in many different ways. They get points for tackles, sacks, interceptions, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, passes defended, safeties, and even defensive touchdowns. Each of these actions has its own point value, and leagues often change these values to suit their preferences. Some leagues give more points for rare plays like safeties or blocked kicks, which happen less often but score higher. Others might assign more points for tackles to emphasize the importance of players who rack up high tackle counts. Because of this, there's no one-size-fits-all scoring system. Every league can customize how many points each action is worth, making it hard to compare players across different leagues. Another layer of complexity comes from the different roles players have based on their positions. Linebackers tend to make more tackles, so they often score higher in leagues that reward tackles heavily. Defensive linemen might get more sacks, which are worth more points, but they usually make fewer tackles overall. Defensive backs, like cornerbacks and safeties, often get points for interceptions and passes defended. To keep all these positions relevant, leagues sometimes give extra points for certain stats depending on the position. This means a linebacker with lots of tackles and sacks could be a top scorer, but a defensive end with many sacks can also shine depending on scoring rules. Adding to this, some leagues include special teams stats like punt blocks, kickoff returns, or tackles on special teams. These extra categories mean more rules to track and more ways to score. Some leagues even use different scoring formats, like assigning 1.4 minor plays to 4 tackles or 3-4 big plays, which makes understanding the scoring system even more important. From a strategic point of view, knowing all these details is key. You can't just pick players based on their raw stats. You need to understand how your league scores each action and which positions are most valuable. For example, in some leagues, linebackers are gold because they get lots of tackles and sacks. In others, a defensive end with many sacks might be the top scorer. In short, IDP scoring is complex because it involves many different stats, each with its own point value, plus positional adjustments and customizable league rules. This means players need to pay close attention to their league-specific scoring system to make smart decisions and maximize their team's defensive points.